You want to hear the new song we just did? It's not finished, but yeah. I want it cold. I want.
Do you feel like an adult at this point in your life? Do you feel like you figured out where you want to go and what you want to do?
Yeah, yeah, I think I've really grown and I feel like I've become more of an adult. But there's still that side of me that just doesn't really know. Like there's a lot of uncertainty with what can happen and what will happen, and that just sometimes makes me just worried about like just anything. Like if all of this that I've done, everything I've been trying to work to do, it just comes to nothing.
Who do you see as your role model at this period of your life?
I'd say my dad, because he's worked, he always works his ass off. Just all the time, just working his ass off just to make sure we all have food on the table, clothes, we're able to go do things that we like, we're able to go to the uni that we want to go to, and just to be able to support your family. I feel just that's kind of one of the end goals. Just be able to make them have a better life than you, and let them do what they love to do as well. Giving them the options and the opportunities to let them experiment and see what they like and what they don't like, and why let them fail and let them succeed.
Seeing your dad work all the time, do you ever wish to spend more time with him?
I wish when I was like younger, I wish we could have spent more time. Like I think during all of secondary school, I don't think got to spend the time that I wish we did looking back. And I just wish I wasn't just a stupid teenager and try to just try to talk to my dad more.
Do you ever talk to them about the things you're struggling with?
I prefer not to tell them about anything I struggle with because I don't want them to worry about it. And that's also with like anyone, like friends and family. I just prefer not to tell them what I'm struggling with or like what problems I have, because I just don't want them to worry about me and think like I'm not strong enough to deal with it myself, or don't know how to deal with it myself. It's more, I just don't want them to worry about me.
If you feel like if you are not communicating with your friends or family about your struggles, do you feel like it's a preconceived notion that you feel like they would, for yourself, like the preconceived notion in your head that they'll put you down, or they will think lesser of you because you're opening up to your struggles?
Damn, this is becoming therapy. I think so. I think it's, yeah, I just don't want to anyone seem like I'm weak. Like, I know, like, everyone knows everyone's weak, but I feel like when you see someone, if someone sees me, like, weak, I feel like they'll just think, like, oh, just deal with it kind of thing. Like, what? Don't know how to deal with it? Or, like, just, like, a lot of this is just not wanting to talk because I just feel more comfortable not talking. But obviously it's my parents. I feel like they're obviously not going to put me down for it. They're going to support me, but I just prefer not to talk.
So, could you just introduce yourself?
Fuck, I should have planned this. Yeah, my name is Ben, and I'm about to graduate from film studies at Queen Mary.
How has your experience been at university, just a general scope of it?
It's been fun, it's been a pretty good 3 years, I'd say. Each year has been quite different, but that's mainly because of COVID and stuff. But yeah, I've had a good time. I've enjoyed myself.
When you came into uni, what intentions did you have, and what kind of intentions do you think you want to leave with?
As in for the future?
Yeah.
I don't know, I came in and I was quite unsure. I think I was going to try and find some, not a passion, but a niche to carve into. That doesn't make grammatical sense, but I think I was a little bit unsure, and now kind of leaving, I'm still unsure, but I've got a better direction.
Do you feel like coming into university trying to explain that you're studying film as a degree was kind of a difficult approach for a lot of people?
I'm going to say yes and no. Yes is mainly just I had to convince my parents, and it didn't take long to convince them. And I think that is because, and this is the other side of it, this is the no, I think that's because I was so sure. And I think because I was so sure and I was so confident that this is what I was going to do, then I couldn't really help but drag everyone else with me, even if it was the wrong direction. Which it wasn't, just to clarify.
What was specifically, what turned your head towards film specifically to study at university?
I've always just wanted to do something that I enjoy doing, and that goes to every aspect of my life. Like, I don't want to do something unless I don't enjoy it. I wasn't just going to study history because it's seen as a facilitating subject or something like that. I just wanted to do something because I truly loved it, and I truly love films. I like reading about them and watching them, and yeah, so I guess that's why.
Do you feel like you're an independent person?
We're just jumping straight from the film to that, yeah. Yeah, I think fairly. I think obviously I couldn't do a lot of the things I do or be the person that I am without the help of a lot of other people, so I wouldn't say anyone's wholly independent, but I'd say I have a lot of independent qualities.
Do you think you're a sociable person?
I'd say yeah, I definitely can be. Like I have that I kind of have that switch, you know, and I think a lot of people talk about it, and I think it just comes from like learning how to be sociable in different settings, and I think I had a lot of that, just interactions with so many different kinds of people throughout my school life and throughout uni, and it's just that kind of, yeah, just having those options and just practice, I guess.
What's your next step after graduating?
So I'm hoping to do a postgrad and then maybe go into further research and like a PhD or something, but it's a little bit up in the air, so we'll see.
What did your parents think when you told them that you wanted to study film?
I think they knew. I told them way before applications had started. It's kind of, I think they knew even when I was picking GCSEs, I was like, at this point, I will think I want to study film. I think I'm going to be studying film in 4 years' time. And so I think after me just saying it for 4 years, when I like officially told them like, hey, I'm applying for film, then it kind of wasn't as big of a thing, and it kind of turned away from what I was studying to where I was studying and how I was going to study it, if I was going to do this theoretical side or the production side. But I think it didn't really help that they have, or had at that point, very little idea to what a film degree entailed. I think it kind of goes back to what I was speaking about before, about I've wanted to do something that I enjoy, and just because what I enjoy is film, some people in doing a history degree because they enjoy it, and some people are doing a computing degree because they enjoy it. So I don't think I think people assume there's things that set us apart, but I think that is just because of the, I don't know, like the discourse around film as a degree. Can I take a tea break?
Of course, if you want.
Okay, cool.
Something about you that not a lot of people know, like something that said, like a hobby or anything that a lot of people don't know about you, but it's quite like interesting about you.
That's an interesting question. I think it's I think a lot of people would know things on like a surface level, but I don't know to what extent people know that, and I can't really think of an example at the moment, but I think hobby-wise people definitely know that. I think I don't want this to become a discussion on like social media or anything, but I think also because I don't post often, so people sometimes know that I do things, but they don't know that I'm always doing things. I don't know, that sounds like such a self-obsessed answer.
Oh yeah, he filmed you the other day, didn't he?
Yeah, it's so good.
An illustrated guide for a cinema.
Shall we?
Yep.
So, I'm Kali. I was originally born in Bulgaria, but I grew up in Spain. I moved there when I was 12. Sorry. I moved there when I was 12, and well, I've basically lived my whole life there until I came here for uni. I do computer science, or more specifically creative computing. When I was choosing my degree, I didn't actually want to do just pure computer science. I didn't think that would be interesting enough. I just thought that I wanted to mix it with something, so I chose art. I'm a very artistic person, so it seemed like the right choice, something that I would, well, enjoy. Thank you.
Sounds like such a job interview question. Well, my name's Adam. I'm originally Canadian. I moved from there when I was a kid. Went through like middle school, high school in France, and then eventually moved to Spain, finished high school there, and then, I came to the UK with Callie.
Who's Atom to you?
Atom is, well, he's my boyfriend. He's the person that I'm living with, the person I want to spend my life with. So, in a way, I guess, a soulmate, if you will.
How long have you been going out?
You had to fucking ask me that.
Over 3 years now, actually, so quite a while.
Could you elaborate more on that?
Well, I guess you just start from the beginning. We met in high school, and we actually got together during COVID, and so the first portion of our relationship was actually pretty much just all over the phone. And eventually we started meeting in person, and we've been together ever since.
In the last 3 years of uni, what would you have changed?
That's a really difficult question. I guess I would have wanted to be less responsible. I mean, I took my studies really seriously, and that is reflected in my grades. I'm doing really well. I'm kind of proud of what I've achieved, but I did kind of feel like I missed out on a lot of like the social kind of parts of uni, kind of I guess like parties and that kind of thing. Like, I don't know, I'm not a particularly, I guess, druggy person. I never kind of fit into that kind of social aspect of uni life.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Working a job that challenges me enough and gives me enough puzzles to keep me motivated. I don't mind working a lot, not like ridiculously, but, and that also, especially from home, that's one big thing for me. I'd be way more willing to work a lot of hours if I'm actually working from home. But aside from that, a place I don't have to fucking heat. I don't want air conditioner or heating, fuck both of them. It's not even about the cost of it. I just want open windows, breeze on my face. I want to be able to have sex on my lunch break. It's a huge part of this. There's something about the sensation of the breeze on your balls and your own goddamn home that makes you feel like a king. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bunch of little things.
What role within your family do you think you play?
I have always been kind of, I don't want to say like the mom, because I'm not. My mom has always obviously been the mom, but I was always in a way like a peacekeeper, if you will, or like a protector. Every time my parents would fight, I would be the person that would like kind of walk up to them, go like, okay, let's deal with this. Why are you mad? Why are you mad? And kind of like try to deal with that. Or if my mom was stressed because of work, I would go calm her down. Like, she would kind of share with me more than anyone else. And in the same sense, I would protect my sister as well. I would make sure that she's comfortable, because, well, I do know that my parents can be a bit judgy and disapproving sometimes. So I would always try to protect her from that, which is kind of difficult now that I don't obviously live with her, but I still kind of manage.
When was the last time you spent time with your family?
My little brother came over recently. Yeah, it was good to see him again. he's, especially now, because he's changing so goddamn much. Every time I see him, he's like a couple fucking inches taller. Now he's damn near my height. And as a person, he's changing a lot too. And it is kind of reassuring to see him, because I always kind of worried that he would turn out a little bit more like me as a teenager, but he doesn't seem at all like that, which is good.
What do your parents think about your next stage after graduation?
They definitely disapprove. I mean, I want to move to Seville, but it's not as big of a city as London, of course, and it is in Spain, so I know that they would want me to go and do something bigger. They would want me to go, well, either stay here or go to in an even bigger place. I mean, my mom wants me to go either to like Asia or America and kind of work there and create these like amazing things that she never got to do. So I feel like she's kind of living her dream through me, which I don't view as particularly fair, but it is what it is.
How have you been trying to keep that connection with your parents?
I mean, without going into too much detail, I used to blame them for more things when I was a teenager. But then when I got older and I got closer to the age that they were when they had me, it changed my whole perspective on shit. I have so much more respect for my dad now. Just like, and it's not necessarily, it didn't necessarily start at that point, but I remember at one point, it was just a random day while I was living in Spain. He sent me a text, because he's not like super outwardly emotional, but he has his moments. He sent me this whole paragraph, and it was super well, and it was just a fucking WhatsApp message, but it was this whole thing where he was like, this is the exact point at which you are now the exact age that I was when I had you. And he went through this whole thing about how it changed his life, and he's like, no one can properly prepare you for that. And he didn't say it in like a negative way. It was all really positive. And then at the end, he kind of jokingly went like, don't do that now. But yeah, it was a good moment.
What have you taken away from uni besides the educational aspect?
The people we meet, things you do, the things we see, the stuff we experience all together. There's sometimes that during all the chaos, there are moments where you're just like, this is nice, and it sometimes seems very random and crazy that like you're doing some of this stuff, like, or like, you know, you're experiencing these things, but I guess it's like the memories, you know, it's nice.
But yeah, no, it's been fun, just fun to talk, you know, and just interesting at the very least to like reflect on the last 3 years. Yeah, it's been fun.
What's your one liner to end it off? One line to sum up your 3 years of university.
You know what? I know I'm not even going to give you the soundbite. You've got to figure out your own ending. I'm not just going to say something cool so you can cut to black and